Welcome to What CEOs Talk About. Do you wonder what CEOs talk about behind closed doors? How they bring their vision to reality? How do they overcome and succeed through adversity? We share that and so much more with each episode. Now, let's get started with the show.
Hello, everybody. My name is Martin Hunter. I am the host of What CEOs Talk About, where we translate strategy into frontline operations. I'm going to rant. Today is a little bit different. I'm going to talk about punctuality and calendars for the next 10, 15 minutes. Why do people think that they are above you to not let you know or not attend the meeting that was scheduled? And I'd like to talk a little bit about that. Are you putting your meetings back to back and therefore not giving yourself the time to actually be transformational in your relationships? Do they really matter? Do your relationships actually matter? Do the meetings actually matter? Or are you going through the day just pumping one out after the other to just kind of get through the day and get stuff done? Where is the humanity in that? Where's the relationship building? Now, through the pandemic, we've had this great opportunity to connect and build relationships virtually, which I think is absolutely amazing. Zoom, I was an early adopter of Zoom because I had clients around the world, and it was either, what was it called? It was Skype, it was GoToMeeting, and then Zoom came along and everybody now is using Zoom, but I was using Zoom a little bit before. I should have put shares in that, should have put some money in it. Anyways, long story short, even if it's a Zoom meeting, there's another person at the other end, and that person has taken the time to accept your invitation, plan the invitation, work hard, engage other people in coordinating this event of meeting two people for the benefit of sharing information. And for what purpose? To create action, right? Why do we share information? I'm actually seeking something from you so I can do something, or I want to tell you something so that you can do something, right? And so that's the power of the podcast. That's the power of sharing information. What information can I actually action? And so therefore, if somebody has put effort into it, now don't get me wrong, I've been put in a situation where sometimes when I have to get home, it's a little bit too tight. I plan for it. And if there's a train in the shortcut, then I'll be caught behind. And then what do? I reach out to the person. I reach out to one of my EAs and I say, hey, Greta, hey, Rita, can you please reach out and say that I'm going to be 5 minutes late? Find any which way to advise them. That's understandable. There's also the situation of understandable saying, hey, listen, I'm not going to make it, or there's an event and there's a situation. It's happened to me. My daughter broke her tooth and I had to go. On the way to the hospital, I took 5 minutes to, again, contact my EA and say, hey, listen, Greta, can you please reach out to so-and-so? Tell that person I'm terribly sorry. And I've got to bypass because I have to go to the emergency. Actually, it wasn't my girl, it was my son. How important is it? Or why do you consider yourself better than the other person if you're late? How do you consider yourself better if you don't attend? Like, what message are you sending as a human being to other human beings if you think that my time is more valuable than yours? Just food for thought. Food for thought for maybe that's not your intention. And your actions are clearly demonstrating that. So rethink it. Couple of tools that I use. We never book anything back to back for me. I always give myself 15 minutes to half hour. One, to close out my action items from the previous meeting. And the second one is to take 15 minutes to prepare for the next meeting. And I tend to take about 10-minute break between them so that I'm actually fresh and mentally engaged in my meetings. For those who have had the opportunity of being my guests, I think that I give 100% attention because I pay attention to what they're saying and I ask the appropriate question. And I do that with all my meetings. And I'm not saying that I'm better than anybody else. That's not what I'm saying. What I am saying is that I have thought about how important my relationships are and the time and dedication that I need to put in, not just during the phone call, but in preparation. Same thing with my kids. I've improved drastically in preparing. I just don't show up and say, what do you want to do? I was like, okay, what does Ariel like? How can I do something with them? What does my wife Tracy like? It's not just about showing up. It's about putting intention behind it. How can I be proactive in my relationships? So that's kind of what I'm thinking about. I'd like to hear what you have to say and what your thoughts are. Again, I completely understand. You're late. Yes, something happened. There's a communication. But to be late and not have any communication and that's not cool. A lot of people are using LinkedIn. Love LinkedIn. A lot of people are using it to kind of bought out invitations, and they go back to back, and they'll look at me and they'll say, hey, nice to meet you. What's your name? Martin. How did we connect? I'm like, piss off, man. Like, I don't accept those. And that's one of the things that I've put in for 2022 is anybody that actually takes the time to look at my profile, ask me a question that is relevant, and that is actually taking the time to interact with me. I will give anybody 30 minutes. Absolutely, 100%. You bought me? Nope, you don't get any of my time. No matter how interesting or appealing your pitch is, I couldn't give a shit. You have not put any intention or care in who I am and what my business is. So, all to say, punctuality and care. It is your duty of care that if you're committed to a meeting, to let your counterpart know that you will not be attending. Something came up, and the world, nobody's perfect. I 100% agree with that. And a little bit of kindness, a little bit of courtesy, a little bit of appreciation. In my books, no man or woman is above or below me. I treat people with the same dignity and respect that I want to be treated at. And if I don't, then call me out on it, and I will do my utmost to correct the issue. So yeah, that's kind of my rant for today. Thank you for listening again. If you have comments, you like, you don't like, whatever, put your tools. What do you do? What do you do to manage the time? Because it's easy to get lost in your calendar and get lost in back to back. So, like I had a guest, Mrs. Jones, that said she's addicted to busyness. So it's easy to say, well, I've been successful today. I had 15 different meetings back to back. Were you productive? Were you effective? Were you efficient? Did you build good relationships? Did you contribute? Did you actively contribute to your success, to your company's success, your group success, to humanity, to the planet? Just be thoughtful about it. That's all I'm thinking. With that being said, thank you very much for listening, and then we'll see you at the next episode. Thank you.
Thanks for tuning in to What CEOs Talk About. Make sure to click subscribe to get notified about future episodes, or check us out at www.whatceostalkabout.com.